the team from the Western Region KRA office. My name is Ken Onyango. I'm a manager in Micro and Small Taxpayers Department, and she's Violet Ofula. She's in charge of taxpayer education. Today, we have come to have a conversation. We did not come with our calculators, and neither are we closing your bank accounts today. We want to discuss what is on KRA's mind right now. And it is important that we share this so that we move together as our partners in revenue collection. Our focus today will be on digital transformation in KRA. We want to anchor systems that are going to make you do this business better, because you are actually handling a bit of what we do. A major one being, I'm informed some of you have already collected their dividends. Majority of you have their dividends. And I collect a bit of it, 5%. Why did you notice? Yes, only 5%. That's what we collect. So the cooperative societies really do a big job for us. You collect that 5% for us and remit. You also collect pay-as-you-earn from the employees, remit. There is also a levy and other withholding taxes. So KRA wants to make life easy for everybody. Easy for the taxpayer, easy for the facilitator, easy for the taxman, and easy for the country. All of us are together in this. We want to ensure that there's money in treasury to build these roads and everything else. We also collect affordable housing levy. So Violet will take us through a few of the things that have come in that we are working with now. I hope you've heard of ETIMs. Yeah. I just want to remind you that from this year, the returns, your returns, especially for employees, have already been pre-populated with the transactions you had in 2025. Take that note. This year, all expenses that are going to be claimed in your returns for whatever transactions you did must have passed through ETIMs. This is very critical, because if you didn't use ETIMs to make those purchases or those expenses, it's like they didn't happen. Hiyo si ni sawa? Si tumekubaliana hapo? Yeah, and then many of us have constructed houses. Na tunapata rent. We want to make life so easy for everybody. We've come up with something called IRITS. IRITS is basically a digital platform through which tutakuwa tunafanya mambo ya kukusanya kodi ya nyumba nicely, and you remit your taxes very well. So in just 10 minutes or so, I would wish Lady Violet, situmkaribishe kwa makofi kidogo. Let her take us through the small slide. I'm not a fan of this PowerPoint. Tungeongea tusikio. But wacha tuone kidogo, just for 10 minutes, alafu.
Is it afternoon? Yes. Afternoon. Yes, I'll be very fast in the interest of time. My name is Violet Ofula. I'm working at the Kisumu office and representing Western Region in taxpayer education. So anytime you need to be educated about something, I'll be glad if you can contact me so that we can actually get that education to you. So I'm going to take you through the digital transformation that KRA is having at the moment. And now what we need to know is that KRA is moving from manual to real time. We want our transactions to be real time and data driven. So what we are talking about is that in the Finance Act of 2023 and 2024, we had this electronic, the Finance Act mandated us to ensure that people use electronic data transmission, and that is through ETIMs. And so because of that, the strategy is to integration of systems to ensure visibility from the source return. When we have the digital systems integrating with KRA systems, what is there is that those entries are going to come directly to your returns, and then what we are going to have is just validating of those entries. Now, so there's a mandatory requirement that every person, I'm talking about every person, whether you're a farmer, whether you're a businessman, and every person should onboard on eTIMS. Why should people onboard on eTIMS? It's because eTIMS is going to give us visibility of all transactions that are happening everywhere. So if you're a business person going to buy things for your business, you go to buy from somebody who has onboarded eTIMS, and once you buy from that person, you give them your PIN number. So that transaction is going to show that so-and-so went to this person, bought this item, and when it appears in your records, then it is going to be a valid record. So in other words, if you're transacting with somebody who has not onboarded on eTIMS, those transactions are not going to be visible and they cannot be validated. So we are going into a system that is strictly very technical. Every entry has to be validated. So it's going to be a cycle. Like you bought from this person and you sold to this person, and everything can actually be seen and validated. I think we understand that the world is going digital. So KRA cannot be left behind. That is the reason why we are digitizing. And not only that, our government intends to have all ministries and parastatals on a digital platform. So we are on course with eTIMS. And now, again, the issue about eTIMS is matching every entry. That is data matching. Now, we match the entries the way I've been telling you. That when you buy from somebody, we can actually see that you bought from that person. And that person, where they bought it, we can also see. So it is a string of entries that can actually be validated. And now, what is going to happen, once these entries have entered your PIN, those entries now, we are just going to actually have that return ready for you. Now, you're not going to do your return. What you're going to do is to review the data and not to create it actually. You're going to review that data. It is already pre-populated. You have done this, you bought from this person, you sold to this person, and all of it can be seen. So ours will just be to present it to you, you review it. If there's anything that was not included, and which is going to be very difficult because we expect all those transactions to be on eTIMS. So you review the data and actually say that this is my correct return. Now we have something, those who have been doing business, we have something called VAT special table. VAT special table is actually just a tool that KRA uses to make sure that those transactions that are not visible. Now we are talking about visibility. Those transactions that are not visible, we actually put you on that VAT special table so that we verify. Because as a business person, maybe you've gone, you say that you have been transacting, and suddenly you present to us sales. But if we look at the sales, we cannot see the purchases. We cannot actually track, well, who did you buy these sales from? But here you are, you're saying, I just have some goods. And these goods now, I have sold to maybe the county government. But our system does not show where did you buy these goods, how many, how much of these goods did you buy, and how much of them are you selling. So VAT special table is actually just a tool that helps us to put you there so that you can verify the entries on your returns or on your PIN. Now we have what we call IRITs. IRITs is also a new digital tool. We used to have monthly rental income, and that was for people who had rental income, including those who have very big estates and they're actually renting them out. So IRITs is a new rental income management tax system, whereby if you have rental income, you can onboard your agents, those agents who collect for you rent, so that even the authority can know that you, as somebody who owns an estate, you have a tax agent, and this tax agent is collecting your rent. Everything that the tax agent does, he posts them to the rental income system. And then, of course, once he posts that, we have visibility of the amount of rent that you're collecting. And then the tax is obvious. Once the rent is posted onto the system, you already know how much you're going to pay as tax. So IRITS is already working from 25th of April, I think. It was rolled out. So the rental income system is also digital right now. We have withholding tax, and I believe we normally have professionals coming to do work in our organizations, SACCOs, schools. I'm sure there are principals here and teachers. So when these professionals come, we expect you to withhold 5% of what you're paying them. Now, if you don't withhold, it means that when the taxman comes to your organization and finds that you paid them and you didn't withhold, now that burden of payment will rest with you. But you see, you're supposed to deduct it before you pay this person. That includes a contractual fee of 3%. If you're doing construction in your schools, in your SACCOs, wherever, and you have contractors, you need to withhold 3% before you pay the contractors. Okay, now let's talk about filing gaps and common errors that we have identified. And then we have people who are filing nil returns. Remember, I talked about us going to digital. And now, because we have visibility of whatever is happening, you cannot file a nil return yet. Maybe you bought something and an eTIMS receipt was generated. As I said, right now we're going eTIMS. And so everything you're buying or selling has to be on eTIMS. And then now here you are, you come to do your annual return, and you say that I'm filing an annual return. It will not be possible. What is going to happen is that the inconsistencies are going to be flagged out. As you are trying to file that nil return, the system will tell you, you cannot file a nil return. You had a transaction ABCD. And therefore you have to go back and declare those transactions that you had. Late filing. eTIMS is going to be there 24/7. So we expect that maybe you should be reconciling your records on a monthly basis, so that you don't wait for the end of the period to do the return. So the reconciliation should be ongoing as the months go by, so that at the end of the day, it's just reviewing and accepting the return. Now, we are embracing transparency. Transparency means that visibility, digital records, they also protect you from unfair assessments. You know, me as a KRA person, I cannot come and tell you that you're supposed to pay this much tax. You know, we used to do estimated assessments. But now we cannot come and do estimated assessments. We are only going to depend on the entries that have come through the system, validated through eTIMS. And so we cannot come and, add anything on your assessment and say that you must pay this. So it's also a way of protecting you from unfair assessment. Now, just as to wrap it up, I'm going to give you the legal provisions that you need to know as SACCO leaders. First, the digital foundation for ETIMS is under Section 23A of Tax Procedures Act. And for this, the rule is every business transaction must be captured on electronic system. So the action for you as SACCOs is to ensure that you have onboarded ETIMS. This is an action point that you need to take home. Now, rule number 2 is Section 19 of Income Tax Act, that SACCOs are generally taxed on non-member income. So what is taxable is only the bank deposits, rental income if you have buildings, capital gains from sale of property, and dividends. As you've just been told, there's that 5% withheld from dividends, and those business activities that you carry out when you have rental property and all that, those are the ones which are going to be taxed. We go to Section 35. The rule here is that SACCO acts as a tax agent for the government, and therefore the SACCO collects dividends on our behalf. You also, that's at 5%, and then you collect professional and management fees. That's on consultancy at 5%, and you also collect contractual fees if you're building. So you deduct then 3% from contractors. So if the SACCO fails to deduct, I've just told you that if the SACCO fails to deduct those fees, then the SACCO will be liable for paying those fees instead of deducting from the person that they were paying. Let's go to data-driven compliance, which we've already talked about. The reference is Section 52B of Income Tax Act, and the issue here is that KRA now uses data analytics to match your ETIMS data, bank records, and withholding tax certificates. And so when you log in to your iTax, you will find a pre-populated return. The entries will be there. Now, let's also talk about what is it that the SACCOs pay KRA in terms of taxes. We have the issue of affordable housing levy. Remember that affordable housing levy is for all employees. Whatever amount you're paying your employees, as long as they are on your payroll, you deduct affordable housing levy. It doesn't have a threshold. NITA at 50% per employee, social health insurance fund according to the rates, and then these ones, we normally validate these entries, and any inconsistencies in the system triggers any inconsistencies, and then we'll be able to call you and get clarification on why there are inconsistencies. That's it. Okay, so that is what I had to present to you, especially the legal background, and the conclusion is this. We are going digital, and I will encourage you to embrace digital, the digital way of doing things, because that's where the future is. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to Obidieni Makofi. At least you've used